Okay, we're back. This is clip number 2. This is Cam's random pick. It's UFC 280, fight number 8, round number 2, Muradov versus Baralo. Now, I'm picking these clips at random just to avoid any sense of bias or cherry picking, but it really doesn't matter. As you'll see from all these clips over time, it's really the same things going on in all fights. Okay, so in the last video I mentioned that all movement is information driven. In this clip I want to explain what I meant by information, and I'll do that in the context of fighting. Please bear in mind that this will be a very simplified overview. If you are interested in a deeper dive into direct visual perception, I've left a video link in the description. Okay, first off, I think we can all agree that we use our senses to see, to hear, to smell, to feel what is going on around us, what is happening around us. For now, I just want to focus on vision because that's the sense that is essential for fighting, especially in striking. So in this clip, you can see that both fighters are embedded in visual information. That is, as light bounces off objects, surfaces, and even each other, it's creating patterns of information that they are detecting from their unique perspective and position. It's this information that helps guide them in defending strikes and seeing openings and managing distance, etc., etc. Now, from an ecological perspective, this information that they are picking up on is both structured and reliable. That is, it's directly telling them what's happening in their environment. Or more simply put, they are perceiving what is available to act upon directly. Again, this is apparent from the slow motion clip that both fighters are tightly coupled to each other. They are both perceiving and acting upon the information that each is offering the other. Now, not all information they are perceiving is equally useful. Some of it is relevant for action, what we will call specifying information, and some of it isn't as important, or non-specifying. For example, the way an opponent's fist gets bigger as it moves towards us informs us that a punch is coming. That's specifying information that we can act upon. And it seems obvious, right? What might be less obvious is that while all fighters throw strikes a little differently, each strike has similar features, meaning there will be similarities in the way strikes are initiated and actioned. Each striking action will offer both specifying and non-specifying information. The challenge to becoming more skillful is learning to detect and act upon this important, relevant information. And this happens through practice, of course, repeatedly exposing ourselves to real, meaningful information until we get better at spotting the signal, which is the useful information, and ignoring the noise, which is everything else. Again, this is a key part of skill development. You cannot become a skilled mover without becoming a skilled perceiver. The two go hand in hand. And that's why we look up to the best strikers and think of them as being so instinctive. Actually, they're expert perceivers. They're able to detect what is happening earlier and more clearly, and that allows them to act more readily and more effectively. So why does any of this matter? Well, as learners and coaches, we need to pay attention to what sources of information we're working with during practice. If all of our actions are guided by information, herein lies the problem. Bags, pads, pool noodles, they do not provide the kind of information we need to become skilled fighters. They're providing different information. They're also largely predictable and static. This is why we can get very good at hitting pads when we just hit pads. But hitting pads is not the same as fighting. Now in this clip you can see that both fighters are moving and reacting to each other. They are both part of a dynamic system where each fighter is a source of information for the other. And to perform well in this live interaction requires real skill. That is, context-specific, effective perception and action. This is why the ecological approach strongly emphasizes live, realistic training and largely rejects static tools like bags and pads. Remember, the best training tool you can have is a good training partner. In the next clip, we'll explore perception action cycles and in more detail and how it drives skill development. Much love, and as always, feedback is appreciated.